Hello and welcome to DHTV. Today we're going to discuss Driven. It's a Cisco program that our department has put together, and it's a D&H exclusive. So this is a growth program specifically to help you manage your interactions with Cisco and how you do business as a reseller. So we have a lot of great information for you today, and we're going to jump right in and get through that. First of all, I'm your host, Aaron Shelton. I run our SE crew here at D&H for the Cisco team. And I am here with Nick and Steve, my esteemed friends here that are also on the Cisco business unit. Nick, first off, how would you describe your role here at D&H?
So my role is the Cisco Business Development Manager. So just to give you guys some background, I've been in distribution for about 7 years, all focused on Cisco. And my whole goal is to help partners grow within their Cisco journey, right? Wherever you are today, I want to get you to where you want to be in the future. And then Steve is my counterpart. Steve, if you would like to hop in.
Hello, I'm Steve Bretz. I've been with D&H for going on 20 years. I've been in the sales with D&H role for about 20 years, and I am a business development manager like Nick, and I also help with incentives, promotions, certifications, and whatever trainings you may need.
All right. Thank you very much, both. And we'll jump right in here. First off, Driven is a program that we've had for a while, but we've done a big refresh of it. There's a lot of new things that we've added to it over the past year or so, and really is a nice new fresh program that's up to date with what needs to happen with Cisco. Now, first off, you guys, who can take advantage of this program that we've put together?
Uh, Aaron, well, anybody can take advantage of this program. There's no barriers except for the commitment to growing your practice with D&H.
Yep. And
Okay, so
just to add in there as well, it's not only that there is no barrier to entry, it's also anyone can join regardless of where you are in the Cisco stack. So if you're not even a registered partner today, all the way to a gold partner, anyone can qualify for it. So just keep that in mind, regardless of where you are today, there might be things that we can help provide for you to take advantage of.
yeah, that's very true. It starts right at the base level and goes on up from there. And it gives you a lot of resources too that you can access. So if you're looking up information for something, that's one of your places that you can stop. Now, what can partners expect to get out of this program?
So the easiest way to explain it is you would get a DNH individual that is Cisco oriented to sit down with you and your company and talk about your Cisco practice. And wherever you are today, we can take at what your vision is, take a look at what your vision is in the future, and walk through how we can make that happen, right? And that's from, like I said earlier, all the way from early entry level all the way to the highest status levels. So I say that's what you can expect is that you'll have somebody walking hand in hand with you and helping guide you towards the path to Cisco success.
Now, along with that, I mean, you're a team that helps with this program specifically. What do you guys do to help the partners grow their Cisco practice?
Well, Aaron, the best way to probably describe this is when the customers go in and fill out the partner survey and everything. Uh, we'll look and see where they're at, and then we can see where we can take them to. Like most of the customers, if they're going to sign up there, if starting off as like a registered partner, we'll look and see, what best suit what their business program is. So if they're like a provider or an integrator, and then we'll go through those suggestions and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, that's always very helpful. And if you haven't been through the whole integrator provider side of things, integrator is more like your VAR. So if you're just selling the stuff, that's kind of where you belong. Provider takes that to the next step where you're more like an MSP level and supporting your customers in that direction. Um, Now, there's a lot that's in this program. I think there's some certifications, some self-service tools. What do we have going on there?
Yeah, so there is a lot of self-service tools within here. Everything from continuing education, we're talking even Meraki 360 Plus, which Aaron, I know you run, and awesome program for our partners to get more involved with the Meraki side of things, all the way to trainings, on-demand trainings, whether it's for new resources within your organization, all the way to promotions, incentives, as well as documentation on each. So we kind of hit everything across the board, from promotions all the way to education, all the way to certification, specializations, everything across the board.
Yeah, very good there. And I'll add a little bit onto the training. My team actually handles a lot of those. So we'll train you as partners and walk you through different programs. We actually have a lot going on there. The Meraki 360 that Nick mentioned, that actually is in support of the CMNA certification. So if you as an individual want to get CMNA certified, which is a Meraki focused certification, we can run you through that. That's a 2-day course. It's a good 8 hours or so between the 2 days, but it's very in depth. It shows you the dashboard. There's some demo lab stuff that you can do along with that. So there's really a lot there. We have a Cisco positioning training series. This is also live and online, and we'll walk you through different product categories. So if you want to look at a switch, and we have the Nexus line, Meraki line, Catalyst. Well, which one do I need? This one kind of helps fit and support what you want to do with those switches. So we have Wi-Fi switching, the security cameras, and a few other options within that series. And that's something that we just added this past year. And it's a really nice introduction to those products. We do umbrella workshops on a regular basis, and that's pretty much quarterly. Again, there's some nice lab time along with that, and there's some benefits to doing that. And then some email training and a few other security items that we're doing. And upcoming, we do have some duo offerings that are going to pop into this as well. So Driven is one of those things that you do want to check on a regular basis, because we're always adding to our continuing education offerings. Some of the on-demand stuff is also changing just as new things come up. So there's a lot of good resource there. Now, so I've covered kind of what we do with the training, and we've talked about what's on the site a little bit, but Steve and Nick, do you have any success stories that you can share?
Yep, absolutely. So on the screen now, we should be showing the promotions and incentives screen. So we do provide all of the documentations to all of the open Cisco rebates and things like that, the back end profitability stuff. But something that we do is we'll actually sit down and review what your business looks like from a dollar amount, and we can see where it is that you or your company might be missing out on some, whether it's back end dollars, MDF dollars, things like that. To give you one example, just off the top of my head, I did a review for a partner, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, and they were earning some back end rebates, but it wasn't quite what they should have been earning. They were getting somewhere between $800 to $1,000 every quarter. I did one review in 20 minutes, and we found out they were only a few orders away from $15,000 in back end rebates. So just being able to have somebody sit down that can understand these programs and walk you through them is a very, very key part of helping our partners grow within the Cisco stack.
Yeah, I think so. It's not very easy navigating all that stuff. And Steve, I think over the years, that's one of the things that you've done a lot, is helping partners out with, what is a fast track rebate? What is, VIP, that sort of stuff. And that's something that you do in your role. I mean, what kind of things are you helping with partners with on a regular basis right now?
Pretty much the same role, same thing. So customers, the last customer I was working with, they're a registered partner. And we found out after talking to them that they were also a managed service provider. So we got them to the select provider role, got them involved in that, and now they're able to register, do deals with the MSP discounting, and get some extra discounts on their deal. And it gives them more action to be able to win opportunities.
Yep. And
so,
if you don't mind, if I can add on there, one of the keys about this program as well is that it can be from low-level employee all the way to C-level executive. We can help provide guidance everywhere. So, for instance, when we're talking about deal ID creation, usually we're talking about a sales rep or somebody that manages deals within CCW, right? And they can get discounting up front. But we're also able to look at the holistic picture and take a look at, okay, well, with those deals, it's very important for maybe the executives to know how much how many MDF dollars are we getting? How much marketing
Mhm.
dollars are we getting? Do we have somebody that can guide us through that? Is there any, Perform Plus or VIP rebates that we might be earning? So, uh, this is a great program for everyone, not just, if you're a sales rep or if you're the CEO, it's for everyone in between. And we can usually provide some value regardless of what level you are within your organization.
Yeah,
Exactly. And go ahead, Aaron.
oh, sure. I was going to say with the VIP program, that's one of those things where you might have certified engineers already on staff, but you don't have them quite clocked your organization properly, and so there's actually back end dollars you can be getting through VIP because you have those certified folks, or maybe you're very close. If you're very close and you can add, one more test round or something like that, and all of a sudden you're in the VIP program for um, uh, standard EN product, route switch wireless, any of those products that you sell that are qualifying, then you're getting back end rebates for that. And Steve, what were you going to add there?
I was just going to say, because, when customers are working with the, as a managed service provider in that role, with the 8% discount, and then if they're registering it as a deal too as well, I mean, it's stackable. There's plenty of ways for them to win opportunities, and it just makes it a lot more affordable for their customers and themselves. And this program with Driven helps them understand how that we can move them into the different tiers and utilize and focus on their business.
And then, Aaron, if you don't mind, since we
Oh,
have the
sure.
screenshot up, we also do have a VIP calculator as well. So what we'll do is we can take a look at how much you've done in each individual architecture and determine how much money, you are potentially making on the back end. So maybe sometimes, the dollar amount might not work for your partners or your customers. But when you go and do a full evaluation, maybe if you're comparing OEMs, that's one of the common themes that we hear is, well, some of the other OEMs are a little bit better priced out, but when you look at it holistically, what you're getting discounted on the front and what you're receiving on the back, I've done a few evaluations myself against competing OEMs, and over the course of the year, it was several thousands of dollars cheaper to stick with Cisco in the route that they were going because of the profitability on that back end. So that's another key aspect to look at is we can help you along that path of seeing what you can earn on the back end.
And I think this calculator has been very beneficial in a few cases, hasn't it? I feel like we've seen some partners where it's tens of thousands of dollars just to kind of get further enrolled in the program that they have on the table.
Absolutely. And just to give you an idea too, right? There are some requirements that it takes to even become eligible for this. So what we can do is we'll evaluate whether it's worth the investment, because that's one of the keys that
Mhm.
you brought up, Aaron, is that maybe your organization doesn't have the bandwidth or the folks on staff to meet some of these requirements, and meeting these requirements can be extremely costly. You may have to hire on engineers, you may have to get them trained and certified, um, and it may not be worth it for you in the long run, or it might be extremely profitable. And we can actually go in, use this calculator, and figure out, okay, if you make this investment today, what is that ROI, right? Does it pay itself off in a year? Does it pay itself
Mhm.
off in 3 years? So that's something that we can help you guys with as well.
All right. Is there any are there any other examples that you want to speak to from partners that we worked with, or we're ready to move on from there?
I can give you examples all day, Aaron.
Yeah, sure.
Everything
Let's
from
do one more.
Yep, sure. So we recently had a partner that we did, a VIP calculation with, and we determined they really needed to move into that networking enterprise networking space, right? They really needed to get that advanced specialization. They were missing out on thousands of dollars. Well, we sat down and we looked at what our profitability is, right? We saw that how
Mhm.
much we were making, and we actually helped invest some of our dollars that we were earning back into that partner for them to grow and become more profitable. So we don't just look at it as the partner needs to do all the work. We'll also take a look at, okay, well, this partner has been an advantage. They've done really well by us. Um, we'll take some of what we've made and invest it back into them so they can continue growing and we both win. So that's another example that we had, I want to say, about a month ago.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, we talked about VIP, which is a little bit of it can be a stretch in some cases where, you're not ready yet, you're still building your business. But there's other programs, like we run you through the Collab SaaS trainings, and that's something that enables you to sell WebEx if you're looking at doing something like that, or the, Cisco collaboration. And then, there's a lot of the products you don't need any certifications to sell, like Umbrella and some of those. But again, we have the training there, so you at least know what you're talking about. So you can go to your clients, walk them through what they do. We can get you access to dashboards so that you can show examples of how that product is working. There's trials that you can work with, and that's all stuff that we want to provide you through the Driven program. So between our online resources and our resources like Steve and Nick here, that's something that we're very much working towards here to make your life easier with Cisco. It's not always easy to navigate their programs, but that's something we're really trying to focus down on. Here are the really key things that you need to work with to get your Cisco business practice up off the ground or over to the next level, because you can move in stages, like Nick mentioned, and the sky is the limit on that. Let's see. I do want to mention real quick, we have a Q&A banner, and if you want to put any questions in there, we're moving towards the end a little bit. We've covered a lot of our information, but if you have any questions for us, definitely ping those in there, and we'll answer them here at the end. I want to mention a few more things as we start to wrap up and move towards that, but one of them, we do have a call to action for you as the partners. And Steve, what do we want them to do when they get to the Driven portal for the first time here?
Well, we'd like them to go to sign up for the Driven program and fill out the partner survey. And that'll help us understand their business and how they're registered and whatnot.
Perfect. Yeah, that definitely helps. So we'll know where you're coming from, what your goals are, and then we can start the conversation with you to move you on a little bit. I want to also mention licensing is another area where we're trying to make transacting easier, and we have a cloud marketplace that's available through the D&H website, and we can get you set up with that too. That's one of the things these guys can work with. But if you order them like Umbrella or AMP traditionally, those are things that can take a day or two between making a build, sending in for quoting, and getting your pricing back, all that sort of stuff. Through the cloud marketplace, it's all live. So you can go in and say, I want 15 seats of this version of Umbrella. How much is that going to cost? Immediately quote back to your customer. And then when you're ready to order that, then the process is just as easy. So within 5 minutes, you can pretty much run through the cloud marketplace, place your order, and you're good to go. So there's a lot that we can do there. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything before we close up. Nick and Steve, before we move on to the next section here, is there anything else you want to mention for the good of the order?
So I would just say, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either me personally. It's ngammon@dnh.com. I don't mind also using, WebEx, Teams for communication, phone. It really doesn't matter to me. If you do want to sign up, you can always go to www.dnh.com/driven. All of the information that we just discussed is within that portal. You don't necessarily need to sign up just to view the documents or view any of the information that's in there. But if you did want to sign up, at the very top, there's a green Start Your Journey Here button. When you click that, it'll only ask you a few questions, and once you complete that, it will automatically send over some information to our team. From there, we can go and do a deep dive into what your organization looks like, and we'll reach out via your preferred method, right? So email, phone, WebEx, Teams, whatever, rotary phone if need be. We can reach out that way. So both Steve and I are available resources, and please feel free to use us whenever you want.
And you can also reach us at driven@dnh.com. We work out of that box as well, so you could email us through that alias as well. Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. So we'll officially move into Q&A here. We'll answer some questions, and then we'll do a final wrap up with a couple extra notes at the end here. Um, uh, I mean, we've covered this, but very basically, how do we get started on the program? We have a question there for that.
Best
Steve?
way to get involved in the Driven program is, like I stated earlier, is just go to the Driven site, and that's the www.dnh.com/driven, and sign up for sign into the partner survey, and go from there. We can, like I said, we'll evaluate everything and see and then set up a call with you and look at how you want to go, what the plans are for the future and whatnot.
Perfect. Sounds good. Nick, this might be a good one for you. We have someone that's been using Driven for years. What's new in the program? We've talked about some of it, but what are some of the key things we've added?
I would say the simplest explanation is that we provide more of a consultative approach than previously. What we typically would do is get as much information within this portal as possible, right? That way you can self-serve. But now what we've done is we've moved that into a consultative approach for you, your organization, and really how to help guide you versus essentially data dumping. Throwing a bunch of information at you and figure it out. Now you've got that consultative approach where we'll sit there, go through everything step by step with you and your organization, from entry level employee all the way to the C-level executives.
Okay. Perfect. And this one, there's actually two answers to this next question. I'll take the first part of it, and then I'm going to kick it over to you guys for the other part. But when we mention quotes, does that include partners markup? So I mentioned the cloud marketplace. In that, it is your cost. So when you go in there, you build your own quote. That's going to be your cost, and then you can mark up from there to see whatever your client cost you want that to be. Now the other side of this is CPE, and we didn't talk about this much yet. Nick or Steve, what is CPE, and what kind of quote information do we get out of there?
Oh, you, Steve.
Well, when you go into the CPE tool, it's basically we developed this program to be able for customers to go in and quote, get tracking information, and also for smart net renewals and whatnot. But in the one part of it, there is quote creation. So when you go and you put in your quote ID, so it's a little different than when you create your deal. It also gives you a quote ID. You have to use the quote ID, and you put that in, and then you would just basically hit export, and it will give you a quote with your D&H pricing. Mm-hmm. It's coded to your account.
Indeed, yeah, and that'll be your D&H pricing. So again, you can mark up from there. But I think that's a really important point. This is something new that we've done. If you're comfortable building your own quotes in Cisco's quoting tool, CCW, you can create your quick quote or deal registration, send that deal ID over, or put that deal ID into the CPE system, and that runs your pricing back. So you don't even have to reach out to the team to get your pricing on that. And I think that's something that's really cool that we've added there. Steve, we can help them create their quick quotes or deal IDs too, can't we? If we need to do that.
We can. And our Cisco specialist team would help with that. And you can reach them at ciscospecialist@dnh.com.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. Let's see. Okay, not specific to Driven necessarily, but this is, part of our helping, the help that we give. What's the quickest way to find and connect with the Cisco sales team for a specific customer?
Well, Steve, I know you handled a lot of the specialist work, so.
Best way to do it is would be to copy your sales team that you work with day in and day out with, your overall sales, and then copy in the Cisco specialist team, and it'll get directed to the specialist team that will handle that for you, whatever quotes or questions you may have. but I would always copy in your sales, your day-to-day sales team as well.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so your rep can connect you, and the Cisco specialist at dnh.com is the email to reach that team. And if you're not sure where to send it exactly, at least get it to them, and they can branch it out to the groups within our Cisco business unit to get you the support you need. Let's see here. We have our web address for the Driven program. We have that on the screen now, so we're good there. Now here's someone, they're a select integrator right now, but looks like a Cisco provider might be a good fit for them. What kind of business do they want to be to move to that provider role? How difficult is that? What are we looking at there?
So for the provider role, that's all managed services, right? So you've got your integrator stack, which you spoke about earlier, kind of your traditional VAR. And then you've got your provider stack, which is mostly going to be the managed services side of the house. So step one is, are you a managed service provider, or are you moving to become one? The qualifications for it are actually extremely, extremely simple. And we have a full guide. It's about a 15-minute PDF where we go step by step on how to apply for it with Cisco. And any questions or any feedback that you get back from Cisco, we'll always sit down, review it with you, and see what it makes sense to complete the application.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think that's something we're seeing more and more. There's a lot of resellers out there. They're starting to move into that MSP model, even if it's just sort of a hybrid approach to start with. But if you are interested in doing that, or you've already started doing it, there's some definite benefits to signing up to the provider role. We can get you started there. Now, Nick and Steve, if they want to reach out to you, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to do it would be to email us at driven@dnh.com.
All right.
Yep, driven@dnh.com. You can send it to my personal ngammon@dnh.com. Phone, email, WebEx, Teams, however, whatever works.
Excellent. Very good. I think let's see here. Yeah, I think we hit all the questions. I'll pause for just a second in case anybody has anything else. We did get one question about some hardware stuff. We'll reach out to you after that, after the meeting here, and see what we have. Let's see here. And everything we're discussing here, is this referring to the Cisco channel? What say you, Nick?
So I believe what you're asking is in terms of Cisco overall, yes. So everything that we're talking about is within the Cisco space. I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I think probably so. The Driven program is specific to Cisco, so if you're doing Cisco business, that's one of our resources there. And if you're on other programs, we have some other programs at D&H that work like this too, other manufacturers, and our modern solutions team has some great programs going on as well with a lot of the cloud licensing and stuff like that. So we can always move you around there. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So it looks like he's referring to this one. So yeah, this one's 100% Cisco, and we're very focused on it. We have a team of over 30 people now, and all hands are on deck to make this whole thing run in the background. I think, yeah, we've actually wrapped up all the other questions here. Steve, anything else you want to add?
Just, if customers if anyone's having any issues with, renewing registration, stuff like that, please hit the Driven team up, hit us up with those questions on how to register, how to renew anything, federal authorization, stuff like that. That's what we're here for, all that good stuff. So happy to help.
Perfect. And Nick, your final words.
No, just please reach out to us, get engaged, and hopefully we can help you and you grow within Cisco, and let's go from there. Let's get driven.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for joining DHTV today. We're very excited about this program and have a lot of people behind it to make it work and make things easier for you. So appreciate you attending today, and let us explain what it's about. We do want to mention to keep an eye out for future Solution Lab webcasts on DHTV later this week. Actually, on Thursday, we have a Microsoft Teams for Education training. So if you're interested in that, definitely get registered for that and join in again. But we'll go ahead and close this up. Thank you again for attending, and I hope you have a great afternoon.